broke in a nursing home. All right, we're going to tell you exactly how you don't want that to happen. That's something you do not want to happen. We'll tell you exactly how you can achieve financial success even if you have to live in a nursing home. So now let's talk to the folks from Elder Advisors. Actually, it is Mr. Larry Weiss, who is with Elder Advisors.
Yes.
Larry, welcome back to the show. Good to see you.
Thanks, John.
And also we'll be talking to Steve Langdon. Steve is with McNeely, Stephenson Law Firm, and he is partnered with Elder Advisors. Okay, first of all, good to see you. My man, you look sharp. Look at Larry. You're bringing the A game.
John, it's so important I receive your validation. That and all the Wave 3 viewing audience, thank you so much. But we did a survey from the workshop last month. Dr. Greg Brown, University of Texas, is a media consultant. And I had him watch last month's show. And he said it was really great. You came off really well. They did a survey, and except for the angelic Don G, you came out most beloved. But there was one area that they were concerned about. And they said that, you know, clearly the room and makeup was good, but the grooming, you had some loose threads on your jacket last time, and I assured the viewing area that we would not have loose threads on your jacket.
So you do it all.
I do it all. It's only for you. And I can't even focus today because we had this drop-dead gorgeous lifeguard on the segment before. He's up here talking. I'm thinking David Hasselhoff and Daniel Anderson.
Mark Newman does.
He was very professional.
He brings the A game as well.
Who's your man?
And who's your man?
Who's your man? And the other thing is,
like
Mr.
a superhero.
Yeah, when you see a sign that says reserved parking, it's for you.
Well, I'm just making sure. I don't want to take anybody's spot.
Because you are the face of McNeely Stephenson Law Firm.
I'm not sure the rest of my partners would appreciate that.
Larry Church would second
that. Probably. He might.
Well,
maybe.
Let's talk about that. All right, sure. Steve Langdon, he mentioned the fact that you're with McNeely Stephenson Law Firm, but your specialty is elder law. So your personal story as far as how you got involved with Larry, I know you're probably regretting that right now.
Quite a bit.
Involved with him, but
yeah, that's an ongoing daily thing.
No, and I'm teasing. But tell me a little bit about your story.
You know what, we try to have some fun with this because it can be very, very difficult, not just for the families, but for everybody involved. And so I've known Mr. Weiss for a number of years as a friend of a friend. Some time ago, I had a brother who went through an issue with cancer. And long story short, after a surgery down at MD Anderson in Houston, Texas, which is just a phenomenal facility, Tom came out of the surgery paralyzed from the waist down. And we knew at that point that Tom was likely going to end up in a nursing home. I was a litigator. I went to court. I sued people and defended folks. I wasn't doing any kind of elder law work, but I ended up reviewing it, looking online, Googling it like everybody else does. I Googled it. I went and talked to nursing homes. We even went down to the Medicaid office, talked to them. Everybody's telling me Tom's got to basically go broke in the nursing home before he can get any help. That's what we did. And I was completely wrong. I reached out to Elder Advisors probably 4 or 5 months before Tom finally passed, and learned a lot. And then dove just headfirst into the elder law area, figured out what the rules are, and it's much like taxes. You know, you don't pay all the taxes that you can possibly pay. You take advantage of the rules. Elder law, Medicaid, nursing homes, they all have their own rules. You just take advantage of the exceptions, and we can save folks a lot of money. You don't have to go broke in a nursing home.
So through your experience, your very personal experience with Elder Advisors and Larry, you found out, okay, these guys have the same agenda I do. They want to help. And I love that. So with that being said, you are much more, when we say elder law, it's much more than like wills, right? I mean,
right, it absolutely is. And that's where, as much as I probably didn't enjoy being a litigator, nobody's happy when they get sued. They're certainly not happy with the attorney.
That's not a good
right?
day.
It's never a good time. So, but it really did help me because you have these rules and you're taking advantage of the exceptions. Well, sometimes you have to force the state to accept the exceptions they put into law.
I see. Okay, here's what's interesting to me, though, Larry, and you can help me with this, is the fact that you knew there was a financial component. That's obvious when you go into a nursing home.
Right.
But the legal side of it, when did you know, when did you have the epiphany? It's like, we've got to have both with Elder Advisors.
Well, really, ever since we kind of rebranded and relaunched in 2010, because more and more of our clients are getting older. I've been doing this 23 years. So to be successful, you always need a legal component, but often the legal components do not want to embrace the financial components. And I'm referring to the attorneys out in the community. I mean, they do a great job, but I think it could be done a lot better, and Steve allows that to happen, because I've dealt with families in the last 6 months where we'll have people come in, they talk to an attorney, husband and wife, and they're told they have to get divorced to protect their assets. I don't have to make this stuff up, okay? I do not have to make this stuff up. This is not 1955 Gunsmoke.
Sure.
You don't have to get divorced to protect your assets. But that's what happens when there's a legal component only. You don't have to loan all your money to your neighbor, wink, wink, nod, nod, and hope they pay it back. That's silly. But a lot of attorneys will do that because they don't want to incorporate a financial component. And I like to bring my little visual. Camera on the props. Camera on the props.
Here we go.
Cash. People leave money on the table every day when they don't engage Mr. Langdon at McNeely Stephenson Law Firm to go to bat for him. Steve argues for a living. And that's why I'm so delighted that Wave 3 invited Steve in today, because I had a client tell me once, Mr. Langdon could tell me no and I would thank him. Now that really says a lot about
that does say a lot. And I think something else that is important, because you said this is important in what you bring to the table for elder advisors, but you need to keep up with the current laws. Healthcare is changing, so you know the strategies to take advantage of current laws, correct?
Correct, absolutely. And it's even more than that. I mean, this is a federal law, and it should apply from Alaska to Puerto Rico. All the states, it's got a federal law. But what I find is, in working in both Kentucky and Indiana, that different counties apply the law differently. And it can even be more than that. You can go from one caseworker to the next and find that they apply the rules differently. So, you know, when most folks go in, they don't have that financial or that legal component helping them, and they're told no, they just walk away. Well, sometimes the state's wrong. And so when they're able to come to me, that's when I'm able to stand up for them and just absolutely make sure the state follows the state's own rules. They got to follow the rules.
And it's one thing to have the knowledge, which I think is apparent with both of you. Don't go broke in a nursing home also requires compassion, and I see that in both of you as well. You have a workshop tonight. We're going to mention it again in the next segment, but just for those who are watching now, we have your attention. You're interested in elder advisors. You're interested in the expertise of Steve Langdon. So tell them what will be discussed tonight with that information on the screen.
Well, to a large degree, expanding on what Steve and I have spoken about today, but the workshop is at the 4 Points by Sheraton tonight on Crittenden Drive at 6, and tomorrow at the Hampton Inn, Clarksville at 10 a.m. But we get into the details, and it's about an hour-and-a-half program, and we want people to ask questions. When they get into the details, we usually save that for a private meeting, but we definitely want questions. That's why we're there.
Steve, your story is fantastic. It's obvious what you bring to the table. Do you have the financial component covered as well at these workshops?
Well, so I bring and I want to say, first off, how thankful I am to elder advisors for allowing me to come in and guest speak, and thankful for Wave 3 for bringing me in. But that's really what it is. You really need both aspects. You need the financial and the legal to make sure that the clients get the best service they can possibly receive.
Yeah, I think a lot of folks do not realize you're leaving money on the table if you're not aware of some of these laws and strategies. Workshop tonight, we'll talk more about that and more questions for both Larry and Steve. That's coming up next on Wave 3 Listens. We're live.
In a perfect world, you know, I wish I just had the ability to bring these clients in and find a way to put them right back to where they were before the accident happened. But what we do is kind of the closest we can to do that. We want to make sure that they're not kicked out of their home or not able to pay their light bill. We want to try to get them that wage loss ASAP. Our goal is to make them feel like their lives have been changed as little as possible, knowing that they're dealing with a very life-changing experience, and to accomplish that feels pretty cool.
Nursing home bills run $7,000 to $9,000 a month. Don't go broke in a nursing home. Attend our next free workshop to learn how to protect your loved one's assets.
Our guest speaker will be elder law attorney Steve Langdon of McNeely Stephenson Law Firm. Steve will show families how to protect their hard-earned dollars.
Let our team help ensure you don't go broke in a nursing home this upcoming Monday or Tuesday.
It's easy to register and absolutely free. Log on to elderadvisors.com or call 855-LARRY-55.
Welcome back once again, Elder Advisors, and we have the expert legal advice here from my friend Steve, my newfound friend Steve.
Newfound friend.
I'm getting jealous.
There we go. And don't do that. There's a lot of love in this room, enough for everyone. So, Larry, if you would, you and I were talking during the commercial break. I think it's very relatable when you can tell a true story.
Yeah.
And you said there's a real-time story going on, I guess, currently with the family. Tell me a little bit about it.
Yes, this is my shout-out for Becky and Joyce down in Bardstown, okay? They have a loved one in a community here in the Louisville area, and they're being a little difficult as to certain financial aspects. So Mr. Langdon invited them up last week, and with that, I'm going to let Steve give you the details, but what's really great is no one does this. No one does this. They would have basically just moved on, not returned the phone calls. But as you were saying earlier, these are real people. and they're just regular people. They're beautiful people. I love them very much. Becky and Joyce, you're the best in Bardstown. They gave us permission to drop their name, by the way. So
okay.
well,
I know you'd do that.
Yeah, yes, of course.
That's the way you roll.
That's the way I roll. You know, don't act like you're hip like me, baby. Come, bring it back down. But in any event, I'm going to let Steve talk because he's the one that goes to bat, because sometimes we need the legal component.
All right, tell me a little bit about this story.
Sure. Yeah. So we're dealing with these facilities, and they do a fantastic job. These facilities do a fantastic job. But like you were saying, the law is always in a kind of a continuous motion. You got to keep on top of it.
Moving target.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And so in this instance, we were able to get a refund from the state for our client who had been in this facility for a number of years. Well, the facility received it, and I don't think really knew what to do with it, so they kept it.
Wow.
Well, they were going to apply it to bills moving forward. Well, that ends up causing more problems for my client who's now in their facility. It may result in them getting kicked off their Medicaid benefits. Well, we can't have that, and there are ways to deal with it. So I invited the folks up, sat down, talked to them, and agreed that no problem. Let me reach out to the facility, because sometimes, this is shocking, sometimes a letter from an attorney has a little more force than a letter from just normal folks out there.
No question.
And so I've reached out. I've immediately gotten a call back. Haven't had a chance to catch up with them yet, but we'll get there and we'll get this worked out. But for most folks, they don't get that money back, and what do you think they do? They just walk away. And they don't need to do that. There's plenty of opportunity out there working with the financial side of it and the legal side of it to be able to save absolutely as much as you possibly can.
There we go, leaving money on the table. Partnerships are obviously important with elder advisors.
Absolutely.
If you have expertise like Steve's, you want to apply it to your business as well. So, but it's more than just legal expertise, isn't it? It is about compassion and people who care about people, right?
It is, and that's why also, you know, I refer all my clients to Rada from Moss Accountants. They do all the tax accounting. Honestly, I pride myself on being the dumbest person in the room because I surround myself with top talent.
Smart.
Yeah, whether it's Jeff Hurst at RE/MAX in Kentucky, Fancy Fulton, Indiana RE/MAX. These are all people that have the skill set that are familiar with the Medicaid nuances of what we need done. So, you know, I can't do everything. I certainly don't know everything. So in this one, it's certainly Steve. A lot of times it's real estate or it's taxes. So I always want to have the talent around to do that.
Or you have top talent here, and Steve and myself.
Well, I was thinking of Steve more than you.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Kind of go that direction.
Yeah. And Larry Church, who could not go through a 30-minute segment and not mention Larry Church? He's a beautiful man. Oh, wait a minute. He's an attorney at your law firm.
He is. Yes, he is.
Larry Church.
My dear friend.
Larry Church.
All right, the workshop
Larry
tonight.
Church.
Now, this is one. Other than tonight, other workshops upcoming, right?
Yes, tomorrow morning at Clarksville, 10 a.m. And they can always go to the website, elderadvisors.com, for updates and stuff like that. Check out our Facebook post. All that good stuff.
Elderadvisors.com.
Baby.
Are you speaking tonight?
I will be there.
All right, you're speaking.
Look forward to it.
And do you always have a different focus with every workshop? Is there a different focus?
Honestly, it's pretty much the same, and everybody knows why they're there. You know, they've seen the ads in the Courier Journal. They've seen the commercials on Wave 3. It's Don't Go Broke in a Nursing Home for a reason. That's why they're coming there. I've never had someone walk out and go, I thought I was here to buy a vacuum cleaner. I thought I was buying a used car.
Right.
They know why they're coming. So people are either in a crisis mode, they're spending $8,000 a month, they're about to do it, or they went through it 3 years ago and they want to avoid it.
All right, there we go. Elder Advisors, once again, don't go broke in a nursing home. Larry and Steve, thank you all so much. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow on Wave 3 Listens Live.